Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today it's another free video for you guys. Of course I put this on Patreon, but this is all for you guys to see one of the techniques I like to do when painting stones. So you see here all the stuff I'm going to use, and I'm going to use on this bust. So I'm going to paint the stone. You see there is some skulls here. Okay, and I will paint the skulls. For the skulls I will use the ice yellow. Okay, more I will use for this these three inks. It's the sepia ink, the luminous green ink, and the dark green ink. Okay, and for the stone I will use these four colors you can see here, and I put this color too. Okay, it's going to be the first layer is going to be with the primer gray. Then I will use, so I'm just showing the paints I was going to use: the rock gray, the graphites, the dark gray, and the basalt gray. So there are so many different grays, and I will show you how I'm going to paint these. Okay, and I will use this brush. This is a Van Gogh brush. It's bristles, it's very stiff, this one. I'm going to use for just a little dry brush, the AK dry brush, and I will use a big one just to put, this is a 6 from AK, just to put the primer. Okay, so I will show you guys the process, and I got here the base, then I will put on my bust. Okay, so it's here, and of course in the bust I'm going to make another tutorial, guys, to see how I, with all this green color, it's a luminous green, it's going to have shine. Okay, but I will work some metallics, and the metallics I'm going to work with glaze medium. Okay, that it's going to be another tutorial for you guys to see, but now I got here, as you can see, this is a baking paper. Okay, and this is what I'm going to use for now, because I'm going to make a technique like a stippling. Okay, it's you are going to see, it's more easier to see to explain, and you, of course, we are going to start. So, but before I use this, I'm going to put some of the gray primer, and I will start, it's the funny thing, I will start from the brightest color for the darkest color. So let's put here some paint. I will use this directly, paint this directly, and use my and I will use the brush for the application. So let's go a little like this, and let's start. What I do, you see, and then I grab a little water, and just like this. and believe it or not, this is going to be flat. Just one thing, okay? It's very important, this part. Just me grab something. Okay, again, I'm going to use a glove because I don't want to remove any paint on the bust, and I don't put any varnish on this. So with your hand it's much easier to remove the paint, and I don't want that to happen. So let's grab a glove, and it's more safe. So yes, I can paint this with the airbrush side, but I glued this on the bust because it was for a demonstration, and on that demonstrations I need some of the support for the people to see. And use a large brush for this. And don't worry too much with the marks of the brush, because the technique it's different that you are used to see, and this is one of the ways I like to do. I have another things made like this, and for me works fine, so I will continue doing this. And with this I give a little more texture on this. Okay, just cleaning here the brush. Now let's put this aside, and let's grab, as always, my hair dryer. Okay, let me put just this on top. I don't want to be homogeneous color, a solid color, okay? I want this to see a little of the gray of the resin. Almost. Okay, done. You know, it's not 100% but it's good for the start. So you can see the first color for the stone. I use the gray primer from AK. It's really good and very easy to put it. So now I will use this one, okay? And let's go to the colors. Okay, so I'm going to use, I see like this, okay? So this is dark gray, So I'm going to use this first. Okay, I'm going to put here my desk, then the graphite, then the basalt gray, and then I'm going to the dark gray. We're going to see. So rock gray, it's the first I'm going to use, and I'm going to put right here. So just shake it. And let's put here some. Okay, so let's grab this. One of the things, when you are starting to do a new technique, you are not used it, I give you always this trick: start on the back. Okay, it's most either areas, like when you are doing a tank, you go and make the experience on the bottom of the tank. If it's go right, you can go all over the vehicle. It's always like I do. So start on the idle position to see if you are going to make this good. So now I stiff here, you can see, and then I go a little around, and this is going to make a pattern, different pattern. Okay, so just stipping, and when you need more paint, you go and grab more paint. So like I said, if you have that brushes, the airs, it's not so good. So this is the things you are going to need to use. So this is a pig, okay, hair. So it's very strong, very stiffy. So I saw a friend of mine making like this, and I changed a little for my techniques, and I like a lot these parts. So now let's push around, and the same thing. Okay. So it's a little tedious, but at the end you are going to like it. The rush, it's the your enemy. Okay, you like to do this calmly, and for making nice things you need to take it easy, to do it calm. Okay, of course you can make if you like another colors, if you need use another brand, of course you just go what the colors you like. It's up to you guys. You see how it's going? Okay, very subtle. It's what we want. And in the parts you have more details, you see more. And don't forget, when your brain it sets a little more, it's Yep, yep. He's telling you to stop. It's that way you overdo it on your models. Okay? Remember, your brain said a little more, just stop. Okay, the first phase, it's done. And just like this, very subtle. Now I'm going to the graphite color, and put aside here if you need to make some to mix the colors. If you want to mix, you got the transitions you want here on the paper. And don't use this on a wet palette. If you use this on a wet palette, it's going to bring you water, and you don't want water for this part. Okay, see the hand, it's good. So always on the back, and let's grab some of this. Just put in here, secure the paper, and let's start. You see, I can grab my brush here more on the back, and let's start making this. So this is a nice way to make stone. Okay, there are lots of different techniques, but this is one of the techniques I like, and I will continue doing. You see it? Oh, let's turn, and let's continue. And remember, the light you have on the top, it's going to change the way you view. So be careful, move a lot your model to see the different transitions of the light. So it's very important to move, okay? At this point I just do a lot of this, and I know where I'm going. Okay, so we are on the front right now. And be gentle, don't make too much strange on this. You don't want big marks, but just stippling. Okay, oops, oopsie daisy, and let's sweep again. And the more strong color you are putting, more you see. So be careful. If I use water here, it's going to make some blur with another colors, and that's what not we want. Okay, you see some areas it gives more strong, more clear, but at this point I don't worry too much. So now I'm going with the basalt gray. You see there on the paper, it's more dark. Okay, always see the glove if you don't have any paint there. Now in that areas you know you put too much, you can go with this and correct some of the areas. And of course you always can come back with a more bright color. And this is good for your minis too. Okay, you can see how it's going. And now the last one, it's going to be the dark gray. Okay, no paint on the glove. And on this one I am not putting too much. Okay, it's my computer. And we are done with the stippling. So now let's put this a little more here on the back. Okay, nice. And let me grab just this. And at this point, so just grab a little copy. At this point, we are going to use the sepia ink right away, and for doing all the recess, all these details, we are going to put a little more dark. Let me see. Okay, this is the violet one, so no, it's not the purple. It's not a problem. So one drop, of course, the sepia ink, and of course now with water. Always one drop for me. I like to work. Always a drop of water and sorry, a drop of the ink and 8 drops of water, and it's good for me. So now let's start working here on the dark areas. It's like a wash I am doing right now. And why not? I can go with the bigger brush. It hurry ups a little more what I'm doing. So this is the first layer of the ink to make that definition. So we work on the brightest or the darkest colors, and then we go again with bright. And this one, it's good to make washes with oils too, so it's up to you. And just working now with acrylics. Because these parts I want this to go more fast, and to do it more fast I just go like this. So now I just go around and see the parts have more, like in here I just go with the brush, touch and remove. I use a towel to remove the excess there and see if there is too much or not. And so now I use my hair dryer again. Here are some parts you can see here we must correct, and when it's still fresh you can correct that parts. So start drying, but see, oh, you can see here a very big deposit, and at this moment I can still work. Nice. Remember, acrylics, when it stains, and it's not good. So, okay, let's put this away. At this time I want this to be a more dark stone, okay? And I got here some water too. Let's dry it. Sorry. And the colors we are going to use for the skull, it's going to be very transparent, because we want to have that edge. Okay, now we have here the first color I use, and now I'm going to use the AK dry brush. You have the new on the market. I will receive this week, and I will show you how to work with them. So you see, now I clean here, don't forget, clean, and start making a dry brush. There are some guys telling you don't use the dry brush technique, it's not good. My God, that is a lie. The dry brush, it's good when you need it, okay? See, now more clear. Okay, now let's grab the ice yellow, and now I put here a little, oh, let's shake it, sorry. Don't forget to shake the paints. It's very important to shake the paints. I'm just going to put here a little, and then with the brush I'm going to use these 2 zeros. I'm going to put aside here like an odd wet palette, and I want this to be very thin, and start working on the skulls. It's going to run a little on the recess, it's normal because of the water, but we are working again. I'm not painting the inside of the eyes because we want that darkness, and you can see I'm not painting everything. It's a little random. Because we want this to be old. So this is one of my techniques. And remember, these tutorials, it's for you guys to learn the basics, the way I do, okay? I'm not saying it's the correct way, but this is the basic, and then you start making your own techniques. It's very important, you guys, to start making your own techniques, and that is makes the difference from others. If we do all the things in the same way that the others, it's not good. Of course, I have some modelers I like to watch the way they do the things. I know, with a lot of camera, as always. And when you are moving around, you are working again, put more lights. So it's a continuous work. You see it's strong color, but when it starts to dry, it's more transparent. Okay, why? Because I'm using water. And in this way you got a very flat surface, and you don't have too much paint. It's the problem always, like everyone do. And today I'm not. You see, I am going around and around and around, and when I do everything, I can go again with paint. And always have a nice flat paint. And as you can see, I'm not always painting everything on the skull. So now I'm going to clean the brush. You see how it's going. Now with the brush I go with the brightest color I use. It's the rock gray, with a little water of course, and I'm going to start making some highlights here on the rock. Okay. Okay, too much. When you put too much like this, just clean with water. Okay, go on the napkin and remove the excess. It's so easy. I use my finger lots of time. You can see we got nice definition in some areas. I like to use my finger a lot. Okay, as you can see. Now let's clean the brush. And I got here the ivory color, okay? Sorry guys, I talk with you later. So I don't like too much to use the white for some techniques. The white, it's a good color to mix with others, so yes. So let's clean really good my dry brush, and let's put nicely and clean, and let's start working again. Here in some stones, I like to do this more bright. Now you can see how it's going. Nice. So this particular bust has one thing. You have this luminosity, okay, from the bust itself. So this is not completely gray. It's going to have some of the lights on the rock, and so I'm going to use the luminous green to make like a wash for this. Let me grab here this one. One drop. So this is the color I use almost for everything on the bust. Now let's grab the big one. Water, of course. No, because I want a really big transparency on this, I put 12 drops for one drop of the ink, okay? Because I want this to be very thin, and I want to put everywhere. You see how strong this is. Now I use just only water. I clean and I push again everywhere. A little more of this. I go with the skulls too. Now just remove some of the excess, of course, and it starts drying. You can see I am all over this, all over the base too. Okay, and this is still fresh. I'm going to grab the dark ink, and I'm going to make here a different way for you guys to see. Just put here little, okay, and I just going on the bottom with this. So this is a very strong. You see, I put a little, some clean, and of course with more water on the brush, I stroke, and this is a way to make that filter. It's more dark on the bottom, of course. Alright. And now you see it's more olds on this area, okay? So now let's grab, where is it? The sepia ink, okay? And this I'm not going at the moment to thin. I'm just go and put one drop here, and with a fine brush like this, now I'm going here on the recess, and let's give some definition. You can use this, okay, in the middle of the eyes, of the skull. You're on some areas of the rock. I put a little to give this definition. So we want definition for the details you have start popping up. Okay. Now the music you are hearing, it's my printers. Of course, if I do this in another way, I have more time to work, and in this way you can guys show quickly things I do, but I take more time, of course, but on this way you can see. Normally the way we must do, of course, more careful. The problem with the demos, it's this, we normally don't have time to make the things correctly. Okay, just show the principles, how to do it. Then, like I will said, go crazy, make your own mistakes. You learn a lot with your mistakes, believe it or not. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's perfectly normal. So you see I'm going in some areas with crackles to give that definition. So as you can see, it's easy. Not a big problem. And of course you can go back again and paint again, or just put near you to see the things you do wrong and you need to correct. This all, it's still fresh, all the mixes I use. Okay. You see more strong green on the bottom and less on the top. Okay, here on the back I need to put a little more green, so I go again with luminous green. I want this to show old. And this is the nice thing of the inks. You can go again, and it's dry very fast, and you can continue working. If you are using oils, it's much different. Nice. Now, for me, on this we got the green color, okay, the stone color, but I want this to make a difference, and for that to make a difference, I'm just going to use a little of the purple ink. For me, it changed everything on the figures. Okay, I'm just going to put a little. It's a filter. And for me it's awesome. So, big brush, lots of water, pull a little, okay, put more water, and let's make a filter of this. You are guys going to see it's make this more the fantasy things you see in the movies, okay? Of course, in the skulls I don't want too much. Some guys are thinking I'm crazy, but I like a lot of the purple or violet on fantasy. Okay, now let's dry. And it's done. So in the I have a work painted, and the stone it's different. It's more near to reality, but it's different. This one I want to be more fantasy, okay? And you see the color, awesome, isn't? I like it, and I hope you guys like it. So this is one of the ways I paint it, and then when I'm going to put right here, it's going to pop up really nice. Okay, and of course it's going to have that bright of the satin varnish. I will use satin varnish from AK, and for the brightest areas I want it's very shine, I'm going to use this new one. It's the ceramic varnish super gloss. This is gives you that bright you need. Okay, it's good for eyes, for making water, okay, for the sea, for rivers. This is really awesome. Okay, so guys, thank you very much for watching. You see all the paints, but of course if you have any doubts, don't bother to ask me, tell me, and I will tell you what you need. Okay, so remember, this is the way I like to do these techniques. It's I do it very quickly for you guys to see in short time, but take your time, make it better for you guys to understand. We need time to make a nice model. Okay, if you try to do everything quickly, it's not good. Okay, so take your time, and you see, using these techniques you can make your own techniques and make a nice model and be different than the others. Okay, that's this, for me it's most important. We learn with everyone. Okay, if it is a professional modeler, if a very advanced modeler, is a medium or a newbie. Okay, but we are always learning something with the others, because we are always seeing different types of things the other makes, and if they don't have afraid to make things, different things, okay, we learn with that guys or that girls. Okay, so guys, thank you very much, and I catch you up on the next video. Bye guys.